In today's video, I'm going to kind of give you an overview of all of the modules that are built into Divi. If you are thinking about purchasing Divi and using it in your WordPress site or using it to build with, I think this will be a great video for you because it'll give you, I'm going to show you all of them and what they do. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with them, but I'm just going to give you the generalization of the modules that you can use. So let's add a new module. I'm just going to go through this list. As you can see, there are a lot of them, and they all do different things. So let's get started from the top. The first one that comes in is accordion, and this builds a simple accordion. You can add more titles to it, and you see it adds there. And under the design, it'll let you add icons. So there's an icon. I believe that's a hover icon for that. So there's a toggle. You can change the colors of the toggle, the color of the background itself, the text colors, all that kind of stuff within here. Okay, and so that's an accordion. Check. And let's see our next one. I'm just gonna add new rows with each of these as we go along. So the next one, we can add audio. This is one of my favorite ones because I do a lot of music stuff, and it's really cool because you can actually upload audio. I'll just pick a first one here, and it creates a media player right in here, and it's really cool. So, and you can just play straight from here, and there's some cool design things with this. You can add images, etc. Like if you have album art, and that's a really cool one. I'm not going to go into any more depth than that today, but we'll look at some of the design stuff here. You have your text, caption text, you know, the basic title, artist text, and your other standard Divi things. So that is the media player. I like to call it the media player. All right. On to our next one, which is bar counters. Now this, I actually have not used these, but I guess they can be really useful for you if you're doing something that needs like a percentage thing for it. And basically you can add as many as you want. Boom, boom. See, and then you can change your percentage on them. You can also change the color and everything. But it's neat to have that handy. I like Divi. Like 90%. I don't know if that's fair to say 90 or better. I love Divi so far. So that's your bar counters. Okay. Oh, also you have some other options in here. So it actually gives you the percentage, or it can just show it visually. And then under design, you can do the bar things. And that's pretty neat. You can also do it bar by bar. Like you can have each one of these be different colors. You can change the text, the sizing, and all that fun stuff with it. And so that's that one. Let's see what we have next. And I'm doing these in full rows. I'm not using columns with this. So this is how they would look if they were wide. Next thing is a blog. This is a great thing to use. I have some blog posts in here. It's going to pull in your blog posts, and this is really useful if you want to have a section on your home page and pull in blog posts. So I'm going to count like 3, and you can tell it what category. So like if you had them categorized and said homepage, you could click on homepage only. Like here's press releases only, and it's really cool how it works. You can also tell it what elements to use, which is very useful. I don't want the featured image because that's huge right now. I have to go back. But there's a lot of options in here for you to look at. And then under design, of course, it has overlays, layout. You can do full width, and you can also do grid, which is really cool. Like when you're designing your blog, you can use this as well for the blog section. And I'm a big fan of, you know, using the grid layout over the other one. But you can have it full width, grid. There's overlay, image, text, a lot more options here. But it all relates to this type of blog post, which pulls from your blog. All right. The next one is a blurb. I use these all the time in design. It's basically an image, title text, and content. And you can also, instead of using an image, you can use an icon, which I know we see a lot of this, where there's an icon at the top. And then we can also put the icon on the side. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. There, you can put the icon on the side if you want. I don't remember where it is off the top of my head. So there's some other things in here that you can play with. Let's see. I can't remember where that is. Anyway, not to waste time, let's move on. So that's a blurb, basic blurb. Our next one is a button. We use buttons all the time, everywhere. It's your standard button. It's nicely designed as default. You can change the text, put your link in here. And then under design, you can do a lot with this. You can center align it, left align it, etc. You can update the text to be light or dark text. And then the button, you can use custom styles for it. So you can change our button text, make it huge, little, make a button background and image if you want. There's lots of things you can do with this. See, that's ugly. Woo. So that's the button. So you have buttons, buttons and buttons. And the next one is a call to action. A call to action is just what it says. It has a title, a button, which this one doesn't have the button in it. I don't see a button. And then your text, link. You have to have a link for the button to show up. But it's a basic call to action section. We use these a lot in design. I usually make them by hand, but this is a good starting point if you're not familiar with call to actions. And then, of course, you got your title text, body text, the button, sizing, spacing. For this, our next one, call to action, a circle counter. Now, I've never used this one, so let's have a little look at this one. My circle counter. So I guess this is similar to the bars. That's neat. And so you can have %, and have it link, and then also change our circle color. What's the background? Oh, that's ugly. That's neat. So you can change the background color and that. That's pretty neat. I wonder if you can change the animation, or if it doesn't have animation on it. So I guess if you have those, like you have one, do several of those in a row. I don't think I would use that very often, but that's just me. All right, our next one, going on down, circle counter, code. Okay, this is great if you want to add custom code. I use this when I'm doing things that require jQuery for just a particular section. Like the other day I built a header and I had to use some code to make the header shrink. When you scroll down, it shrank, so it was smaller at the top of the page, but it got bigger when you were at the top. And that required some custom jQuery and CSS, and I used the code to do it. You can also put HTML in here, any kind of code that you want. Yeah. So let's just simple code. So that's basic text code. And it has just your standard Divi stuff. It doesn't have anything else special with that. So that's using for custom code, and that's great if there's something laid out that you want to use inside of Divi. You can put the code in there, but you'll have to just make sure it's styled well and the jQuery is built in with it. What's our next one? Comments. This is kind of for your blog. If you're building a blog out on your own, you can put the comments section in there. Excuse me. And so you can have avatars, reply buttons, basic stuff you see in the comment section of WordPress. and you can do your fields. There's a lot of customization on this one. So you can customize them how you want it to look for comments on a blog post or wherever you have comments set up. All right. Next one is contact form. All right, this is just a basic contact form, and this is built into Divi, so you can build a contact form, really simple one. It doesn't have a lot of advanced stuff with it, but it does look nice, and it allows you to put the email in there. Anytime you have a question about what something is in Divi, they always have this question mark here if you hover over it, and it'll tell you what it is, which is really nice, especially if you're not used to using these. Cool thing, it'll do a redirect, so you can, if you have a thank you page, or say you have a sign up thing, and you can have it redirect. It has spam protection built in, and that's just the basics for that. Let's see. Let's add a field real quick. I want to see what it does. Field ID. What is this? Phone number. Okay, so yeah, it's a basic form input field. This is a and allowed symbols. Phone numbers, so only numbers, and make it required. So there's a lot more than you can do than just simple. I mean, there's some, you can use conditional logic with that. That's pretty handy. We like to use WPForms where I work, so I don't use that very often in Divi. What's our next one? Countdown timer. Tab 4. Countdown timer. Ah, cool. So you can do a countdown to a date. I've not used this one either. Countdown to the next video. We're on February 4th. That'll be tomorrow, maybe. That's pretty neat. And of course, you can design it how you want to. Title text, number text. Oh, whoops. Oh, that's another cool thing you can do. If you want to upload your own fonts, you can do that in Divi too. TT for. So that's the basic countdown timer. Sorry, I'm having a little fun with these. You can do your separator text colors. That's neat. Change the font. So you can really nail down a design with this that's really custom. Our next module, countdown timer, divider. All right, this is just a simple divider. If you want to divide sections, and it lets you choose, like if I wanted it dashed, let's make it black. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. So you have some, basic HTML type of dividers. I think that's, can't see ridge or inset. But anyway, you get the idea. It's a basic divider for Divi. Visibility. Why would you have a divider and not show it? Okay, I'm sure there's a reason why that's there. There always is. Of course, the one time I want to know what it is, it doesn't have. There it is. But it does not affect the divider height. Okay. I don't know why you would do that, but you could use it to size things. Interesting. That would not be a best practice. All right, down to our next one, divider. Email opt-in. Okay, Divi has some things built into it, so you can have opt-in email lists, and which is pretty neat. Which is really nice that this is just built into it. So that's kind of ugly, but you can customize it. What happens if you get rid of the text? And you just have, yep. See, sometimes when you get rid of text, it'll make it full size. So you can have footer. Okay, that's below it. Email account. So you can select oh wow, there's a lot of providers here. So you can use your own provider within this and select the list. I don't have it tied into mine. And That's pretty handy. You can display a message, redirect URL, has spam protection. I don't have a reCAPTCHA account set up. So there you go. That's a newsletter sign up. Our next one is a filterable portfolio. Post count. I don't have any portfolio entries in my system, so I don't know how this will look, but it will be filterable. So if you had a portfolio and you wanted to be able to click, say, print or web, at the top, that would show that. So I cannot show you this because I don't have any. Fail on my part. All right, next one. For the filterable portfolio, I'm assuming that it's a portfolio that looks similar to that with the selections up at the top. Gallery's a fun one. I'm just going to add the first couple of images. It's just a simple gallery, and let's see, image count. I want all of them. 50. I don't know how many I picked. Where's my other ones? There's pagination. That's neat. You can do random elements. I don't like that it shows that at the bottom. You can take that out. It's a nice little gallery. And when you click on it, does like a shadow box type of deal, and it looks good and lets you flip through them. So that's pretty cool. And your design, you have like your layout. You can do grid or you can do slider. Oh, I've got all those images in there. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that could be used as a slider. So there you go. Learning new things today. But you can change your caption text, sizing, spacing. I urge you that if you're using these, that you go through all of these kind of like I am now. Just get a feel for each one of them. Because the more you know that you have available, the better you can design. All right, the next one we have in here, that was a gallery. This is icon, and it's exactly what it says. It's an icon. You can use any of these icons that are in here. It has quite a few built in. I don't remember what system it uses offhand, but it's enough for a basic design for sure. So, and let's see, use your alignment, the icon colors, of course. You can do the border, so if you want to have like a, let's have a border for it. And it uses the same type of border, but this is how you get lines around them. So let's round those corners out. So you can do a lot with this. All right, next one we have. That was icon. So this is image, and it's just a standard image. You just add an image. So if you want an image somewhere, and then you can link it, you do the alignment, sizing, spacing. So if that's too big, you also force it full width to whatever div it's in. And you know how the images are good to have. Obviously, images on the web. What? All right, our next one is login. This is for if you have users logging into WordPress. It has your login, and you can edit the text, title, log into your account, redirect it to, you know, when you log in where you want them to go. I have not used this yet. I don't work with a lot of things that allow people to log in. But that's your basic login. If you haven't noticed, Divi comes with a lot. Now I will give a note here. I didn't even think about this in the beginning, but I have WooCommerce installed, and some of these might be from WooCommerce, because when you install WooCommerce, it installs pre-made Divi things with that, which is another really cool thing. All right, map. Let's add a new pin. And yeah. For development purposes only. Now I will say, let's find, let's see, 123 Main Street. Fine. Every time I've tried to use this one, it seems to be broken. So this one is not a good one to show off. So that's that. See, technically it's supposed to be a Google map, and it's supposed to let you, maybe it's just not working on the back end. I'm not gonna test that out any further. Let's see, so that one's map. And menu, this one, I use this one all the time. I'm going to use my default menu. This is, the menu is what you would use for your navigation, for your headers, or you can use it in, like in your footer, your header. But I have several navigations made. It lets you add a logo if you want. So you would kind of use this for your nav bar. Excuse me again. Oops. But you get the idea. It's a basic nav bar with the image in it. You can have a shopping cart icon. You can also put shopping cart quantity if you have a shopping cart system like I do. And that's another really cool thing about Divi, is when you, like with WooCommerce, anything that WooCommerce has that should be available is available. And a search icon. And so that's your basic menu. Like, I think a menu should be called nav bar or navigation, because it uses your menu links over, I guess. Get the idea. And a number counter, which is just very similar to, it's just another version of the number thing. And it's animated. Next one's person. This is, I use this one a lot if I have teams. And let's see, name, position, blah blah blah, description. This is my person. And I just updated my version of Divi, and this looks a little bit different. Normally it has the person at the top, and it's kind of like a blurb, but it has the position and content. Position text. So you can do, you know, for each one of those. It'll let you put your image above. Sometimes things are in different places, so. So you just kind of have to play around, but this one's on the side. I thought it used to be at the top. All right, let's go to our next one. Person portfolio. This is pulls from the portfolio again. It's another portfolio, but without the ability to to sort them. And I don't have those, so I can't really show that to you right now. Sorry. Okay, portfolio. Post navigation. This is exactly what it is. This is used for your blog. It previous. Oop. So it just adds a previous and a I guess I don't have any next. But if you were back, it would show next on the other side. You can have it navigate within categories. And there you go. And that's mainly used for blog stuff, for in your blog. Okay, a post slider. This is basically a slider but with your posts, and it works out pretty neat, and it uses your featured image, I believe, as the background. Yeah, and you can do it by category. All this anew. Read more button. You can show the excerpt or not show it. And if you don't show it, it shows, wow, it shows the whole post. That is kind of neat, I think. I guess if you had like a book type thing you wanted to do. Interesting. All right, so that's that. I haven't used the post slider that often in what I've done for work. All right. Here's some more WordPress things. Is your post title, and it's exactly what it says. It's your post title, and you can change whether you want the meta stuff with it, whether you want the author, the date, and it's just a post title. And this is used when you're designing post pages or customizing them. You would want your post at the top. You could also put this in other sections, like in if you had a hero section on each blog post page, you could use this in there, so you have the blog post at the top, and then hide it from the actual post itself. All right, moving on. Moving on. All right, post pricing tables. This one's a fun one. You see these a lot on pages, and it's exactly what it says. It is a pricing table. You got your title, subtitle, currency, frequency. So you can change that to pounds, whatever, frequency per month. And it gives you a good starting point for this. You can design this to your heart's content and make it look a lot better. Feature is included. One neat thing about this one is the plus sign here makes them a bullet, and then the minus sign makes them shown, but it's grayed out. Our next one is search box. It is a search box. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, search box. So if you wanted to add a search box somewhere in your header or somewhere on a page outside of or just anywhere, you show the button, hide it, exceptions. You can have it search just posts or just pages, so you could use a different search and have it designed differently. It's kind of neat. All right. Our next one. Sidebar. Okay, now this is for your blog section, and it is exactly what it says. I don't think I have, yeah, I should have one set up. This is your standard WordPress sidebars, like when you think of sidebar over in your blog that has your categories, etc., etc. This is that. I don't know if I have mine set up or not. But you have your design options with it. I may not have one set up. Why did that? I do. Okay, you can kind of see the little line there, like it pushes to the side, so it's the sidebar for your blog. It normally has your categories in it, like recent posts maybe, or like a tag cloud. You know what I mean, I hope. All right, our next one, slider. This is just a slider, just your basic slider, like similar to what we saw before. And you can add new slides, you can add elements to it or take them away. You can use image or video with these. This can be used in hero sections. It's just a standard slider. Okay, now we're on to social media follow. And this gives you a bunch of buttons. You can add from tons of them. They have, I mean, I don't think there's been one that I haven't seen in here that I use or any of our clients have used. So, and it automatically adds it for you. Of course, you can style these to your site however you want to, and then link them. And it's pretty handy. You can put it in a lot of places. Any module can be put in a row or a column. So there's your socials. Tabs. This one's a fun one. This is exactly what it says. It's a tab module thing. And what it does is it lets you have tabs with different content in each one. So like if you have a lot of sections or a lot of content that you want to separate, but you don't want to have it all down the page, you can use a tab module for that. My last tab's not working because I didn't put anything in it. So that's the tab module. The next one's testimonials, and this is a good one. Everybody uses testimonials somewhere at some point in design. But this is just a good starter testimonial box. You can change the icon, add image, etc., etc. But this is just the generic version of it. And of course, I've got to add something to it. This is our testimonial person, and you put you can link it, you know, just etc. Change our icon. That's what I want our quote icon to be, or that. I tend to design these by hand, but it's a good, if you're doing a really rough draft or a quick draft, it's good to use these modules sometimes in the design so you can say this is kind of how I want it to lay out. And testimonial. Text, this is the most common one. Text it's exactly what it says, text, and you have your text editor and header. And you can choose your styling, H1, paragraph, and you can have both of them in the same box, which is useful sometimes not. But this is just a basic text box. And it'll let you design what you want your headers to look like. And your body text separate, change your sizes. It's basic text. Our next one. We're getting down to the final ones. Toggle. I have not used this. So, okay, so it's basically an accordion, but you can just use it for one section. That's interesting. So if you want to have learn or have like terms, that's neat. And then you don't have to take up a lot of space on your page, on your design, and it can expand when you need it. So that's very similar to an accordion. I guess you could use that to build an accordion, so to speak. Maybe. All right, our next one is video, and it's exactly what it says. You can put a video in there from YouTube or anywhere you'd like. I use this a lot of times in my on my music stuff because I do videos with music videos and also my tutorials, obviously.
Building a website is kind of like painting a masterpiece.
Yes, it is.
Except it's nothing like.
Please stop. There you go, and it adds just a YouTube video. You can change the size of it. If you have more of them, it would make them smaller. Obviously, they're responsive, which is pretty cool. Our next one is our video slider. This is just like the image slider, except you add videos in it. So it's just like this with the YouTube video here. Or you can add a web M. There you go. So you can put an MP4 or the URL in here. And it is a slider, so you will have multiple ones. mark that one. Let's add a new one so we can just kind of see how it works. And it works very similar to our image slider, but you can select them down at the bottom. So, and I have the same one in there, so you. But it's pretty neat that it does this for you. WordPress game changer. Divi is a game changer. I hate the word game changer. Return. All right, so that's our video slider. And here's where I mentioned earlier that you can, like, all my WooCommerce modules come inside of here. WPForms is another one of those. So you can click on WPForms and select a form straight from your WPForms, and it's going to put the form that you built in here, which is really nice to have. It's built right in here, so it treats it as a module. And then our last thing that we have is I have WooCommerce set up on here. Now this is not a default of Divi, the WPForms or WooModules, but WooModules gives you access to all the things in WooCommerce. So if I want to create a custom design for my products page or my products listing pages, I have all of the sections that you would have available in WooCommerce if you were to, you know, do a functions PHP type of thing. I think I may have said that wrong, but you know, I've got all my stuff in here. So there you have it. That is all of the default modules and some extra ones in Divi. If you like this tutorial, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in Divi, I'm going to put an affiliate link at the bottom, and you can sign up through that affiliate link, and they give us a portion of the profit for that, and it helps our channel grow. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments, and we will see you next time.